Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hit the bell, subscribe. We have new content coming out daily. Make sure you subscribe. God bless you guys. I love the United States Constitution. I believe it's the greatest political document ever written. This year I have been diving deep into what was the literature and the thinkers that laid the foundation for the United States Constitution. This incredible document that was not written for the times, but written to stand the test of time. From the books of the Old Testament to John Locke, Montesquieu. One of the shortest parts of the United States Constitution is Article 2, Section 4. When you study the Constitution, you realize there's some very, very long portions. I mean, for example, Article 1, Section 3, it goes on and on and on about how senators are elected, and Section 4 about time, place, and manner of holding elections for senators. Very complex, not complex, but it's very detailed. When you read the entire Constitution, the first 7 articles, by the way, which was ratified in 1787 before the Bill of Rights. By the way, most people think the Bill of Rights is just the Constitution. The Bill of Rights are the additions to the core, the corpus of the U.S. Constitution. One of the shortest parts of the entire Constitution is honestly one of the most controversial and one of the most important. I can't say it is the shortest because there's some that are close to being a short, but it sticks out. It's Article 2, Section 4, and it is exactly what we're about to talk about and debate right now. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Turn the page and kind of like, what else? That's it. The President, Vice President, and all other civil officers of the United States shall be removed from the office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Article 2, Section 4. This is my handy Turning Point USA Constitution. Now, there's a lot in that paragraph. Do not mistake the length or the lack thereof with how important or how heavy, how deep that sentence is. We have a history of impeachments, and it really kind of goes to show where we are in the modern era, the impeachment of Bill Clinton, which I have a mixed opinion on. Obviously, Bill Clinton was a scumbag. Whether that was the right thing or not to do, I actually think that's a really interesting historical debate. The threat of impeaching Richard Nixon, but it's kind of it's an attribute, it's a characteristic of kind of late republic government, where as you're transitioning from a republic to an empire, from a republic to an oligarchy, you're going to have power sources that are just going after one or the other. I don't like that family. I don't like that political party. This is predictable. It's sad. It's honestly quite tragic for the health of the country. But at times, it's necessary. I don't like impeachments. I don't think it should be done lightly. And let me build that out for you. They impeached Donald Trump twice on the silly, beyond silly of all charges. The first was this phone call to Zelensky. We even forget about this, the whistleblower, Shimarella, and this show trial that they put. Remember, this was all right before COVID. I remember vividly, I was at a hunting lodge in Arkansas in February of 2020, right before the world lost its mind. And I remember watching the impeachment, and it wasn't resonating, and you had Adam Schiff and all these morons on TV. Oh, Donald Trump's a traitor because of this phone call. And do you remember the core of it? This is how everything comes full circle. It wasn't just a phone call. It was a phone call about Joe Biden firing the prosecutor. It's interesting how the Democrats found that particular phone call, which was a perfectly fine phone call, to be an impeachable offense. If I'm drawing on my memory, it was Donald Trump talking to Zelensky about how Joe Biden is compromised. And remember, they said, oh, Donald Trump is using the power of the presidency to potentially go after his political opponents. Yeah, of course, the Democrats would never do anything like that. And then, of course, the second impeachment was the January 6th thing, which was done in such a accelerated fashion. I mean, it was done like it was the overnight drive-by impeachment. It was a joke. Donald Trump was acquitted on both of those. But they cheapened the idea of the American impeachment process. And Democrats do this. They cheapen the idea of quote-unquote racism. They cheapen the idea of misogyny. They use it so much, they flood the zone. There's such an oversupply with this, it no longer means anything. That's sad, because there are some people that are racist, mostly Democrats, mostly white liberal Democrats. There are people that are bigoted, but you use these terms so much, they don't mean anything. The same with impeachment. So I don't like impeachments at all. I think that it's an overused threat. It's something they like, I don't like this president, let's impeach them. With that being said, we know impeachments are largely theater. We know that it's just largely performative. We have absolutely no choice but to pursue impeachment of Joe Biden and his cartel of criminals around him. Both can be simultaneously true. We shouldn't celebrate this. It is 100% necessary. If we do not impeach Joe Biden for his high crimes and misdemeanors, and let me read this again from Article 2, Section 4 of our beautiful United States Constitution. The President, Vice President, all other civil officers of the United States shall be removed from the office on impeachment and conviction of treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors. Joe Biden is a traitor to the United States. Joe Biden received bribery from our enemies, and there are a lot of other high crimes and misdemeanors that Joe Biden has engaged in. It is as clear as we can get. It's clear. There was a very interesting moment yesterday on Sean Hannity's Fox News program. Very interesting. Kind of came out of nowhere, which goes to show, and by the way, this went totally viral. We were one of the first people to tweet this out, reach millions of people. Play cut 38.
Hannity, this is rising to the level of impeachment inquiry, which provides Congress the strongest power to get the rest of the knowledge and information needed. Because this president has also used something we have not seen since Richard Nixon, used the weaponization of government to benefit his family and deny Congress the ability to have the oversight.
So look, that's a good sign. House Republicans are probably going to be going, that's the Speaker of the House. That's not just the wonderful Anna Paulina Luna or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert. No, this is the Speaker of the House who is signaling impeachment is coming. And by the way, if they're going to run this corrupt criminal for the presidency of the United States again, yeah, you better impeach. You better. If they're about to indict Donald Trump on grand jury, on January 6th stuff via grand jury today or tomorrow, forget it. Like, that is the right approach. Yes, this is tragic. It's tragic for the Republic that we have someone as corrupt and as craven and as evil as Joe Biden.